began as Star Wars, a futuristic concept from the Department of Defense designed to shield the United States from missile attacks. While the need remains the same, the name and the concept have changed. It's now called the National Missile Defense System, and our Space and Missile Defense editor Angele Ringo joins us with more on the Army's role.
Terry, the Army's role in NMD calls for developing a ground-based system scaled down from the original Star Wars concept. It would be capable of destroying a limited missile strike on the United States. Now, some have questioned the value of such a system, but when North Korea launched what was thought to be a missile last summer, it renewed concerns about the need for a national missile defense system. It turned out to be a satellite launch, and even though it failed to reach orbit, U.S. officials believe North Korea now has the capability to deliver a weapons payload at greater distances, which is cause for concern.
I think that launch opened a lot of folks' eyes as to how close we might be to a nation acquiring that type of technology.
Part of protecting the United States against that type of technology lies in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. The ground-based radar prototype on the Army's Kwajalein Atoll is a keystone of the National Missile Defense Program. It's a phased array system, which means unlike conventional radars, its surface is made up of more than 16,000 modules that transmit and receive information.
In other words, that you can be looking at an object to my immediate right here, and then within a few microseconds later be looking at something totally different in a totally different direction over there.
To see the system in action, if a missile was launched, a sensing satellite would pick it up. Early warning radar would track the missile and signal the battle manager, who would then signal the GBR. At this point, the GBR would track and identify the object. If it was determined a threat, the battle manager would cue an interceptor to destroy it.
It's just an unsettling world. There's a lot of bad guys out there. You just want a big stick to deal with it when it comes time to it.
Based on a threat assessment, the decision to deploy the system will be made next year. Government officials agree that it's not a question of if they'll need the system, but when. So until then, the Army continues to work on the ground-based portion of the system, so when the time does come, they're ready. The National Missile Defense proposal also calls for the Army to deploy the ground-based portion of the system. Congress is expected to make a decision on whether or not to deploy the system next year.
Well, Angele, if Congress gives the go-ahead, where's the Army in its preparation?
Well, Terry, the Army is in the development and planning phase, which includes testing. The Space and Missile Defense Command is gearing up for a big test later this year. They're going to launch a dummy warhead from California and for the first time use NMD technology to destroy it.
Sounds like a really important test.
It really is, Terry. A lot of eyes will be watching.
Okay, thanks.